If you're a business owner, online coach, if you have some area of knowledge, something that you've managed to overcome, this video is for you. I'm gonna show you exactly how to start and grow your personal brand so you can align it to eventually offer a service. So you're not just another one in a saturated market where everyone looks exactly the same. This is in a market where you will stand out and there is no competition because everyone is trying to compete with everyone else, trying to be someone else when there is only one you. And you need to understand the thing that is going to sell is your story, because a personal brand is something that is personal, that many people are going to relate to you because it sounds very similar, something that they can relate to. You don't relate to everyone, but the people that you do relate to, you build a very deep connection. So now this video is for you. I haven't managed to sit down and structure this video. This is going to be all from the top of my head because I was having a shower. That's why my hair is like this. I just put on a vest. And I got a message from one of my clients. So he's a football coach, but he had no idea how to start a personal brand. He didn't know what type of content to create. He didn't even know how to set up an offer. And he had his mentality so closed and just focusing on clients just in the area that he was from, just in London. But then I showed him that, listen, when it comes to the online world, it doesn't matter where you are. You can have clients from all around the world, exactly how I have clients all around the world. And he didn't understand this concept. So we worked together for roughly around a month and then he launched his offer. On his first day of launching his offer, he managed to get £600 GBP. And today he got this notification. I want to show you guys. I'm going to see, let it sink in. So literally he sent me a screenshot. He said, bro, look at this. Today, he managed to close £1,849 in one day. This is something that not many people do in a whole month in the UK. Now, I want to speak to you guys basically how you can start growing your personal brand today to stand out and then eventually build and gain trust. This is the biggest problem I see with so many coaches, that they try to do things the way they used to do it, or they want to do something because that's how they think is meant to be done. When you can do whatever you want, but that is giving you the results that you have. Do you like your results? If the answer is no, learn to drop your ego and learn from the people that have managed to do the things that you want. And that's exactly what he done, and that's why he's seeing the results. Now, the first thing you need to understand is you need to grow a personal brand. What is a personal brand? Your dog has a personal brand, your auntie has a personal brand, your mom has a personal brand, your auntie, everyone has a personal brand. It's basically you as a person, your values, your story. No one has the exact same story as you, which is why that is going to be your unique selling point. Why? Because this is where your area of knowledge comes in. What have you managed to overcome? What is something that you can passionately speak about for hours on end without you having to sit down and think about it? This is why I can speak about an hours on end. Why? Because I've managed to overcome something that was so painful to me. So guess what? You are speaking to who you used to be, where they are today. So I used to be that person who was confused, didn't know how to create content, didn't know how to make money on the internet, didn't know how to scale my online coaching business because I was doing old ways of selling for £59 a month, and there was no way I was going to make a living from £59 a month because I had to sell hundreds of clients every single day. Now then I learned, which is why I'm so passionate about it. So growing a personal brand is your story, and you have to stand by it. This is where most people go wrong because they see someone doing it this way, he's successful, let me do it that way. So you are no longer yourself. You are going to be a very bad copy at someone else, but no one can ever be a copy of you, which is why I need you guys to stay on your story. So why do you need your story? Your story is so important because you're going to focus on one problem that you've managed to overcome. Why are we going to speak about this one problem? Because this is the one thing that you're going to market, the messaging. The messaging is so important because you're going to speak to that younger self. How are you going to do it? You're going to build relationships. The whole point of social media is to build relationships, to be social. So many people are so fixated on trying to sell, which is why they never sell. That was my dog, by the way. Which is why they never sell. No one cares about your product. People want to be able to trust you. People want to feel like you can solve their problem. No one goes on the internet to be sold to. People go on the internet for their problems to be solved. What can that be? Well, they're bored. They want to be entertained. They might not know something, so they want to be educated. And they might be feeling low, so they want to be inspired. This is where you come in and fill in one of those gaps with your content while giving them a message. And most importantly, by building trust. Because at the end of the day, and I've said this so many times, People, you don't make money from the internet. You make money from people that use the internet. So no one's going out here just giving you their credit card details and just sending you £1,200, or no one's gonna give you, like Mali here, 1.8K. No one does that. The only reason people are investing in you is because they trust you. Now, this is what we're gonna talk about. How do you build trust? So the way that you build trust is now that you have this messaging, you build in friends. And I want you to think about it. Look at the friends that you are closest to. You guys are closest because of one thing. So think about it. You are close to your work friends. Why? Because you guys are based around work. Or you can have friends based around football. So you guys are friends because of football. Or you have friends from church because you guys are friends from church. So there's one major pillar that connects you guys. Now, it doesn't mean that just because you have this major pillar of like church, friendship, or work, that's the only thing you ever talk about. No, there's other things that you guys might have an interest, but they might not be at the same level as the business, church, or football. So which is why you want to build relationships on one thing. If not, you're going to have a lot of different friends, but you know that friend that has so many friends that in reality he has none, because the person who has many friends, that's a problem. There's a reason why you guys are not deeply connected. And the things that most people connect with the most is their deepest, darkest secrets. The more vulnerable that you become, because the more vulnerable you can become, the more that person relates to you. I want you guys to think about how many times has there been where you're just chilling with a friend and all of a sudden you guys will just bring up the most random topic because you're kind of afraid or embarrassed to basically say it. And then your friend says, bro, I've been feeling the same thing too. I don't know, like, I'm just gonna give you a wild example. It could be like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of like older women. And then your friend might be like, bro, I thought I was the only one. I like them too. Or it could be something crazy like, oh, bro, I know this is kind of weird, but have you ever tried like chips and curry sauce? Bro, I like chips and curry sauce too. And then from there, you start to build a deep connection from something so small. And that's exactly what you do on social media, because at the end of the day, you're just a random person. No one understands who you are. No one knows who you are. But the beauty about social media now, and which is why it's such a dangerous platform, but such a beneficial platform where you can use it to your advantage, is that the people who are controlling the world now are the ones that control the algorithms. Just think about it. Your social media, your Instagram page is all built around things that you like because it studies you. And now it's so easy to go viral if you learn how. And that's the thing, you have to sit down and know how to play it to your favor. And I used to think this is manipulative. You guys were like, we're just using it for our own benefit. You're not, because this is why I say people that don't create content are very selfish people. Why? Because if it wasn't for you seeing someone else's content, if it wasn't for me when I was younger being inspired by Ronaldo, I wouldn't ever have been able to think it was possible. They are that beacon of faith. They are that beacon of hope that you can overcome that bridge. And you are going to be that bridge for them, because that's how they can relate to, again, your story, where you can be vulnerable and you connect on a deeper level, where you start to build relationship passively as you sleep. Now, how are you going to do that? Once you have your messaging, now you're going to start to create content. So how are you going to create content? There's several ways to create content. There's something that I like to call the LIC, which basically stands for low input content, because social media is a game of volume, because volume negates luck. When you start off, this is why many people give up, because they see the impact that social media has. They see the impact that they can make. Now, what you end up doing is you end up feeling motivated, seeing this vision which you can have. You realize it's not as easy as you thought it was. You try to base your worth on a vanity metric, which is likes, follows, views, and all of a sudden you're not getting it. And then all of a sudden you start to feel demotivated, and then you stop and give up. Then you see everyone else progressing again, and then you feel motivated again. You think, no, I can't be left behind, and you continue. Which is why I tell you guys, you have to set systems. You have to set systems so you can follow through. Yes, you want this big goal, but stick to something that you can do today. You can't control that you're going to make 100,000 followers, but you can control the type of content that you're going to post today. So that's why it's a daily checklist that you have to follow. And I always say, when it comes to creating content, it's a very mental game, which is why you have to be a disciplined person to carry it through. Why? Because you need to show up every single day on social media. Why do you need to show up on every single day on social media? Because people are buying in you, investing in you. If you want someone to invest in you, buy a high ticket, well, they need to know that you can show up every single day. And if you are very, I don't know what's the word, inconsistent, then how do you expect them to trust you? Which is why I tell you guys, this is a full-time job. If you want this to be a full-time job, treat it like one, where you have to learn, what are my bottlenecks? What do I need to improve? What is the area here? And you just basically pick up on those areas. And that's how you end up creating that trust in the long term. So LICs is basically low input content, where you would see them on the internet, where they're very quick clips, where they're just basically viral type content, where they don't require that much time, where you could put B-roll and a bit of text on screen, and you just basically share a message which is easily digestible for the person, especially for the platform, so it's a lot easier to viralize. The reason that is very important is because that is what creates awareness, because you want people to know that you exist, because the best service is the best known service. And even if you're not trying to sell, this is for business owners that are trying to make an impact, because all of this is to create an impactful personal brand. Whether you sell or you don't sell, all you're doing is you are providing help. However, there gets to a point where you can't deliver so much help where you now turn it into a service. That's what an impact does. An impact does where people come to you because you have what they need. So when you create an LIC, is you send a message, it's viral, very easy to go viral. So all that does, we want to hit the algorithm so you can create that awareness. Now it's based with the messaging with something that aligns to you, your message, your values, that thing that you're trying to solve, that problem that you're trying to solve, the one that you managed to overcome, the one that you're trying to help people overcome with your story. Now what that does, it creates eyeballs. Eyeballs that come onto your account. When they come into your account, they see the other content that you do, which is your personal story, where you speak about that problem and how you managed to overcome it personally. So for example, my personal experience with, I don't know, being insecure, where I was a very insecure person and I thought I was condemned to be that, because growing up, especially in a Latin household, everyone believes that it's impossible to change, that people don't change, and because everyone's got this like mindset of you are who you are and that's it. But people just make the same choices every single day. It's a habit, and people don't know how to change these habits, which is why they think you're condemned to be that. And I grew up with this mentality, and I realized, no, I don't want to waste my potential. I know I'm meant for a lot more than this, so I am not going to accept this as it being my life. And I started to make changes. I started to post content on the internet. I started to get judged. Then guess what? That fed into my insecurities. But then I said, what is the worst that can happen? In 100 years from now, I'm going to die. Do I want that to be the outcome? Me living with regret? No. So I went for it, and guess what? Here we are today, and you are watching this video. So that's the whole point why you are going to create authority posts. So you're going to post LICs, authority posts, and then you're going to also put posts of you, friends, family, and your hobbies. Why? Because it humanizes you. Not only are you just a random person on the internet, people can relate to you. And the funny thing is, most people relate to the most randomest things. Like someone can relate to me, oh, like you have this book, I like this book too. Or maybe, oh, you have this tattoo, I like this tattoo, I have that tattoo too. Like it's just the smallest amount of things that people relate to that just humanizes you. That's what you want. You want to create friends. Like you don't want to be just a person who speaks about just one thing, you're a robot. No, like you want to create relationships. That's the whole point of social media. So that's how you create an impactful personal brand. Then you also want to try to bring them onto long form content like this, because on average, there's a study that says that someone has to watch around 7 hours of your content for them to build trust with you. Now, it doesn't mean that everyone's going to take 7 hours for them to build trust, but especially on the internet where everyone's a bit skeptical, no one really likes to spend money. Not only money, but people don't want to give you their time. So if people are going to invest 7 hours into you, these people really trust you. That's how you create a family. Now that's what entails in creating a very strong personal brand. Then this is the secret: using your stories. When you use your stories, that's when you show them your reality show, which is your life, what you do in 24 hours. Every single day it can be slightly different. And I don't know, it's just every day you don't feel exactly the same. So you can explain to them your experience of life and how you still manage to go on forward while you're fixing that problem. Remember, you still need to have that central messaging at the top of your mind, that central messaging of that problem that you managed to overcome. So that was just a quick recap of why I wanted to share you this. So if you're a business owner, if you're an online coach that you're looking to scale to 10K a month, if you want to grow your social media platform and do it the correct way, where I teach you how you can, I'll audit your content, I'll give you a content blueprint, I'll give you a content roadmap, you have direct access to me, and you want me to help you fix your system to see what bottlenecks that you have in your business, especially on your online business, or you want me to help you grow your personal brand, which impacts, DM me the word on Instagram, brand, and I'll see if we're a good fit and if I can help you. Let's get to work. With that being said, put it down in the comment section below. What was your biggest takeaway? With that being said, that assume you're out. Let's go.